Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Reacting Show. I'm Deeha. So we're finally here. Here we are with season 2 of This Is Us. I'm so sorry it took much more longer than I anticipated for it to come out. And I'm so excited to get cracking on with this, especially from where we had left off. And just a really quick recap from what happened at the end of season 1. And the final episode, we kind of had two past lives running parallel to one another. One of them was the first time when Jack and Rebecca had met, and then one of them is, I think, one of the bigger fights, or one, I'm not sure if this was the beginning of the end for them, but leading up to something along those lines, one of the bigger fights that they did have while the big three were in their teens. So when we see how they first met, and essentially Jack was going through sort of a rough time at that particular moment in time, and essentially Rebecca was the one that kind of saved him, because they weren't really meant to meet. If Rebecca didn't leave that date, she would have never run into Jack. And obviously if the situation that happened to Jack with his friend's cousin, like his friend's uncle or cousins, whoever they were, he would have not attempted to try and rob the bar. And even in doing so, she saved him from potentially getting caught, potentially being killed. And that's when they first met, when she was singing on stage and he had to break away from his criminal activity to go watch her sing. And then obviously at the end of that episode, we had each one of the big three facing big life-changing decisions. We had Randall, who had said to Beth, why don't we consider adopting, almost bringing full circle what his family and what his parents had did for him. Why don't they bring another child into their family through adoption? We had Kevin. He was taking up that film opportunity that he had with the director, and therefore essentially leaving his ex-wife that he just rekindled with. I said in the last reactions that I feel like him going to LA the first time is what forced him or caused him to cheat, and what broke him off in the first place. Now that they're in a good place, he's got this really good opportunity, because he was always plagued by the money and not being able to really make it big. But now he got the opportunity, so he's back to LA. And finally Kate, I think after seeing pictures of when her mom used to sing and her mom used to be on the road and such, she had said to Toby that, you know what, she might start singing, which is a huge contrast to right at the beginning of when he was trying to get her out of his shell, and then he got her to sing at the old people's home. But it was such an amazing contrast that she was like, you know what, life's too short, I want to, just like my mom, I want to start singing. So yes, I'm excited to see how season 2 starts off. And here we are with season 2 of This Is Us, A Father's Advice. She's picking up. They probably wonder. Yeah. Can we have the baby back now?
Happy birthday, Randall.
Thanks, guys. It's gonna be a great year.
Oh, it's come right back around to their birthday again.
Mother's advice is not required. It has no call. So instead, I'll share some from another.
Probably really.
Your father and I thought that it was important to be honest with you guys about what's going on. We had a pretty difficult night. And now we're just taking a moment to catch our breath.
What does that mean? Are you getting a divorce?
No.
Of course not.
No. We're just taking a couple of days for ourselves.
Yeah. What would you give your mom and I, psych buddy? Buddy.
Oh. I feel like this is one of the catalysts of
It'll be fine.
how each and every one of them are a little bit messed up.
It's gonna be the best birthday gift ever.
She must feel a bit hesitant about what he said about adopting. That's probably why she feels a bit.
And I'm sad. And I'm gonna miss your birthday.
It's fine.
I wanted to see Kardashians.
Yeah, well, I was gonna take you to the place where they get their smoothies.
Oh, stop. You're killing me.
They might not even ask you to sing. I'm serious. If that outfit has anything to say about it, you are absolutely... Don't do that. You cannot tell a man who went bald at 25 that he looks like a young Bruce Willis. It's too much. Oh, I see.
Kate?
Oh, no!
Hey! Birthday girl!
Birthday boy.
Since Sophie is bailing, does that mean that we're gonna have to cancel the double date tonight?
No.
The only thing is, are you trying too hard? It's just a question I
No.
have. I don't
Oh,
know.
yes,
I don't want to be
and-
the girl in the room that's trying too hard.
I forgot. I spoke about this in length in the last season about his weird dependency he had on his sister, but then also I felt like he was the one that was holding her back.
We liked the outfit, so...
That's what I get. You're supposed to be a guy who says things, and I get... Oof.
I'm sorry.
She's gonna call. Of course. Today. Yeah, that phone is gonna ring.
He picked it up just to make sure it was working.
We're gonna go to the movies. I don't want to. We're gonna go to the movies. We're gonna go see the one with Tom Hanks. That's gonna make us feel so much better about the mind-blowingly upsetting crap that's going on in our heads. It's common in these situations for one spouse to be the dragger and one to be the draggy. It's important to communicate because, fair warning, this process will really get up in your business.
Beth doesn't seem too on board with him. I mean, she was shocked, but I almost feel like her saying something might railroad. And now I'm trying to think, is this his way of coping with losing his dad? I wouldn't be surprised if he's opting for a boy, that he'd call the boy William. So, or Jack. William or Jack. So yeah, it's opting for when he's losing his biological father.
Hey Mary, let me ask you, you have any kids laying around that were left at a fire station? Because that might really scratch my husband's itch.
Oh, yeah. Poor Mary.
We only ever talk about what you want, Randall. You want to adopt. You want to honor your fathers.
This isn't going away from you, Beth. You need to get your head around it.
Oof. But did he not just ask her how she felt? That was such a weird... That was a very passive aggressive. I would have thought he would have said, tell me what's wrong. Why do you not want to adopt? What's going on? Tell me what you're feeling. Like, I forget Randall could be a bit of a robot.
Fire.
She's gonna leave. Aww, Kate.
I'm a friggin' ghost!
He was there?
No. Admit to me that you hated the fact that I...
Career? You are a 40-year-old woman seeing covers in pumps. That is not a career, Rebecca.
I think Randall's finally gonna make his move.
Are you kidding?
Wait. Was he saying Randall's gonna make his move on their mum? Kevin's such a shit.
You just lost a child, and you both just wanted me. Right away, just like that.
It's complicated.
I mean, I know she was feeling really shit at this,
Just see it.
but Jack was always the opportunist, like the optimistic.
I said no. In marriage, someone has to be the one to push to make the big moves. And oftentimes in our marriage, yes, it was your father. And your father wasn't perfect either. But he was pretty damn close. As close as they come.
I agree.
And that child became my life.
Didn't turn out so bad, though. Things that he pushed on you.
No, you all right, old man.
Come on.
This is nice.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, do you want your sister to sit across from you, next to you, or just straight in your lap?
Oh.
Awesome, he's fine.
Oh.
You know what, Tobe? I actually didn't go to the audition.
Yeah.
I failed before I even got in the room.
Believe me, I felt the same way when she told me earlier, but
Oh.
yeah. But let me tell you, you don't know what it's like being in those rooms, man. It's horrible. You know how many times I've walked into a room and I wanted to bail when I saw James Marsden ready to read?
Goodness. He's becoming such a... Oh, so yes, here we go. She's got this really ferocious dependency with her twin, which is understandable. But the fact that she hadn't had the opportunity to tell Toby, but then she got annoyed that... Oh. I just feel like thinking... It's not the time and place, Kevin. If I was you, I would have just shut up.
We are perfectly imperfect. And I didn't even know that was a thing. You see, we don't follow one another, Beth.
Can I take you somewhere?
Where?
I want to adjust your perfect plan.
You're embarrassing yourself and your wife. We're booked months in advance. We don't do solo acts.
Hey, she's going to be my wife. I'm supposed to be her person, not you. All right, I'm the one who's supposed to cheer her up. I'm the one who's supposed to buy her birthday dinner.
Not tell me how to take care of my sister. I've been taking care of her for a really long time.
Yeah, and how well is that working out for her?
Just fine. Thank you very
Shouldn't
much.
need to be coddled. She needs to be pushed.
I'm a 37-year-old woman. shouldn't need to be pushed or coddled.
Where are you going?
Back to the audition to wipe the floor with those bitches. That's where I'm going. And don't follow me.
Thank you.
Had it bound for you.
Oh.
Let's take in an older kid who no one else in the whole damn world is gonna help.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's
2,
how you could just...
3, 4.
Damn.
I go out.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's quite abrupt.
I know I'm not what you imagine, but I will not walk out of this room and allow you to just give this gig to a lesser singer because she's a size 2.
3, 4.
It's been 7 hours and
Wow.
15 days since you took your love away.
She was our lead singer, but we demoted her because she wasn't good enough. Your pitch is good, but your range is limited, and I don't care what dress size you wear. You're not good enough, honey.
Wow. You know what? That's probably a very good reality check for Kate, because I think subconsciously she's always been putting herself down because of her size. And assuming it's almost like the victim mentality, but he basically said no. And that Amber girl sounded amazing, and she was the backup.
Being her brother, I never had to try to be good at that. I can't just cut the cord that quickly.
I do need you to stretch it a little bit.
I know.
Just gonna have to work my way up.
Exactly. And that's probably what she needed. She's just been so
What do I need
afraid.
to drink? Does anyone want a nightcap?
And I'm not the only one who gave up on my dreams, Jack. We both did.
Yeah.
Right? I shouldn't have let you leave. I shouldn't have let you leave because that's not what we do. Yes, I do. I know
Rebecca, you
everything
don't.
about
I'm drunk right now. I have been drunk all day. I have a problem, Rebecca. And I've hidden it from you.
Oh, I thought it's finished. Is that Rebecca? She's gonna say no. You're not gonna take care of it yourself.
Get in the car.
Ah!
You are my husband, and I am your wife. And if you have a problem, we will fix it together. A few months from now, everything will be back to normal.
Do I feel the same?
I feel like this is the time period he died.
You need to hear from me.
I wonder if it was alcohol related. In fact, their house. What on earth happened? Oh, wow. So, not like the drama ever ends. That was episode 1 of season 2 of This Is Us. That was a really good episode and really good way to start off the season. So we started off with the big three. They were celebrating their 37th birthday, so it was another year around the sun. And obviously embarking on different aspects, you know, the different bits that they kind of proclaimed at the back end of last season. So one of the most interesting things that we saw, and one of the most interesting developments that we did see, which was trying to figure out around about the time where Jack had died. So prior to that, obviously between the conversations between Toby and Kevin saying that it was 17, she was a 17-year-old telling me that, you know, dad died. It's clear that he had a drinking problem, and I'm wondering that their house looked like it was on fire. So part of me thinks, I don't know if it was a case of he was really drunk, he ended up dying in a burning fire, something along those lines, or he basically was struggling with his alcoholism to the point where he ended up dying in a fire that he started. That's what I'm assuming was the case. I love that Toby and Kevin got a chance to talk about, like, some of the stuff that Kevin said. Like I said, Kevin may come across a bit dumb, but he's very insightful. He's he observes a lot of stuff. So I really liked how some of the stuff he had pinpointed when they were arguing, like, you know, I was there for her. And pretty much, you know, one of the things he's not good at much, but one of the things he is good at is he doesn't need much effort with is being a good brother to her, which I liked because they were always like this. So I suppose just as it felt like in season 1 that he has this weird dependency on her, they depend on each other, so they've got that sort of unit again because they're twins. And I mentioned this in the reaction, I really liked how this was a really good turning point for Kate, where again, it was always playing up to that victim mentality. It's a case now, well, you know what, it's literally down to my ability. It's not because of how I look. I have to basically practice, and if I want to do it. So I think that was a fantastic confidence boost for her, because it was no longer about how she looked anymore. It was technically you need to be able to sing. If you can sing well, then that's a whole different story. So that was really, really good. I also did like the scenes between Beth and obviously Randall. I guess Beth might still be struggling with losing William. I don't know for sure what her reservations are about bringing a new baby and anything like that. However, what they decided on in the end was actually a much better idea, bringing in an older kid, because she did say that your life, you getting adopted was probably the best thing that could have happened to you, and obviously his parents raised him right, but then obviously with the contrast of what could have happened to young black boys growing up in the streets of New York, or Pittsburgh, or wherever they are, in this sense, like that is literally a reality that he could have faced and he avoided. I did like how, when he was telling her that this is an imperfect life, like I said, I was really shocked about how he was like, this is kind of what I want and you have to get your head around it. But I suppose there was a few callbacks to how, he was always a bit of a perfectionist. Things always had to be like, he believes his life is perfect. A lot of stuff he's learning to let go of a little bit. However, they kind of met in the middle ground. Again, there could be more to it. Maybe there's something more from Beth's past. But I did like how, again, I'm not sure if that time she saw William was prior to him dying, because obviously when they went to Memphis, William never came back. He died there. So I don't know if that was prior to that. However, it was a case of, she was always abiding to Randall. She took the father in, she took her brother in, his brother, all those sorts of things. But I suppose is, like she mentioned, giving somebody a chance where the world had given up on them, which was taking in an older kid and being able to give him a better opportunity. And then finally, we did see Kevin. I guess Kevin still has his apprehensions about like what he's doing, obviously with that Ron Howard guy. And one of the things I was worried about is him being away from his wife. But I'm glad that she was able to, not wife, sorry, his girlfriend / ex-wife. But I'm glad that she was able to come meet him. But I suppose it's a case of somebody kind of being there for him. And I'm glad that he finally took a step back, that sort of moment between him and Toby where he was like, you don't need to sever the cord, I just need you to sort of give me a bit more cord, sort of thing. And he knew it himself, and he knew that he had to take a step. He had to give his sister a moment of her own to, spread her wings, for her to sort of move on herself. Oh my gosh. And finally, it was just the way I guess Randall was looking at the whole thing different, and I guess that's why he looked at Jack like that, like Buddy, like giving him that dirty looks, because he had come home. When he was at the party, he wasn't feeling it. He had come home and he saw part of that fight. So I suppose there's a part there was a part of him kind of like remembering that. If you think about it, from that big blowout and obviously to when we find out now Jack's passed, there wasn't a lot of time. And then fast forward to when he had come and spoken to his mom about, what was the reason of you adopting me? How did you know it was me? And she admitted that I was reserved about it, whereas it was your dad that pushed it. He was the one who believed that it was meant to be. And sometimes there is one person who has to make those big decisions, and it was always Jack. So it was nice to kind of hear that, knowing that, like he said, that their marriage wasn't perfect, and knowing full well what their arguments were like. A lot of the things that made Randall the way he was because of like Jack, the sacrifices he took, making sure Jack got into that school. Making sure Randall got into that school, making sure he was always pushing him forward. So that was kind of a nice way to tidy that up. But that was a good episode. Again, we now get a good glimpse of potentially a pinpointed when Jack died, and now it's a case of what the fallout from there is. I'm assuming, I don't know what would have led up to the fire. Clearly the fire had got the house has gone up in smoke, so there was fire. Hopefully we'll find out in the next couple of episodes, but I'm really intrigued to see now. This is like literally the beginning of their psychological turmoil and downfall as to what happens from here on out. But if you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.